Alex and Kaya, welcome to FrightFest, first of all. Is this first time at FrightFest for you both?
Yes.
Definitely for you, Kaya. What about you, Alex?
And not for me. Yeah, no. FrightFest always have a great, dear place in my heart because it was here that we presented Switchblade Romance back in 2003, and I remember the Prince Charles Theatre audience, and it was just like insane, and you know, it was a good memory.
Does that kind of ease the nerves a bit, or does it sort of double the nerves because these are sort of hardcore fans?
I mean, this one is a little scary because the movie's been out in the US for like a few weeks now, and all the reviews are out, so people and very positive. So people are very, when you expect a lot from a movie, it's even more challenging because now they're going to come and see it. And hopefully it will be even better than what they expect. So
I'm really nervous about it.
Really?
Because I feel like I don't want to let them down. I feel like a real kind of pressure, and in a great way.
Yeah.
But also the thought that if it goes well, it will go really well, which is very exciting. It's not going to be, Betty and Deirdre falling asleep halfway through. It's going to be people that are really into it, and that's pretty cool.
I think they will. I absolutely loved this movie. Also, it scared the shit out of me.
Good.
Well. So, first of all, just set the scene for us. Tell us a little bit about the story of Crawl and what audiences can expect.
the story is what got me into that project because it's so simple and straightforward. It's the story of, Kaya, Ellie in the movie, who has to go save her dad during a hurricane category 5 in Florida, in a zone flooded and infested with alligators. So, what else?
And that's it. Amazing.
What else?
And there's a dog.
Oh, there is a dog. That dog is incredible, right?
Cho-Cho, she's a star.
Was it just the one dog that played?
We had 3 double and we only used her.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What
she was
a
great.
star.
And she was a rescue. They found her in the streets in Serbia and trained her up. And now she's a movie star.
Amazing. I love it. Kaya, what was your initial reaction when you sort of read the script to this? And were you trepidatious about, this movie and what your character goes through in this movie?
Yeah, my first reaction was like, fuck, okay. Let me read it again and just focus on the character. And I was like, great, she's a strong, multi-dimensional woman. She's not getting her tits out. She's not kissing anyone. It's just her story. It's her journey. Brilliant. Love her, love her, love her. Then I reread it with the elements and putting myself in the situation. My son was 1 at the time, so I had that to consider and whether I'd physically be able to get through it. And I had this tiny moment where I thought, I'm not going to be able to do it. And then that angered me so much that I was like, I'm doing this and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability because I don't ever want to feel like I can't take on a challenge. But yeah, I was fully aware that it was going to suck. And it sucked so much more than I expected.
Did it? It looked grueling because you're basically submerged underwater, sort of murky water for most of the film, right?
Yeah.
We had to build 7 different tanks for each of the location to be floated. The idea of the movie is that ticking clock of the water coming up from the crawl space to the rooftop. So every set was a different tank. The quantity of water that goes from one to the other, the rain and the wind all the time, and basically surviving a shoot like this for 40 days because Kaya's character is going through that nightmare just for 1 day in the story, but we had to shoot 40 days. So that was way longer, even without alligators.
How did you kind of realise the alligator? Is it all CGI? Was there any kind of practical model there? Kaya, what did you have to kind of perform against throughout that shoot?
All I had was a 5-foot Serbian stuntman dressed in a lycra, skin-tight, lime green condom suit.
Love it. So you
Very
really
little
felt
to
the fear then?
I was terrified.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely
very scary, in fact. My son came to the editing room and was more scared by the raw footage than by the alligators.
But mostly what I had, and which was really useful, was Alex's voice. He would talk me through it. We would choreograph it almost like a dance, so that we'd know the space, we'd know where they would be, what I was reacting to when, and I'd let him just scream abuse at me and be like, "It's behind you, quick, run!" Ah!
Did you have to shoot it kind of chronologically because of the water and all of that?
Set by set.
Right.
But not all together. But set by set was most of the time in chronological order. But unfortunately not, because we had to start with the ground floor, which is almost the end of the movie.
Yeah. But it would start like
second
there'd
day.
be, ankle deep water the first day and everyone would be like, oh, this is fine. Cut to up to here, treading water, and 25 members of crew in wetsuits all swimming to work every day.
It's quite a straight movie, right? It is quite, it's not really sort of played for laughs and it is genuinely scary. Was that something you were going for from the start?
I really wanted to make it like straightforward scary. And my bet was that if you make it really, really suspenseful and very scary, you will create that fun element. Because you need that nervous release of laughing when it gets to a point of saturation of fear. And that's what I was really, aiming for.
Why do people assume that? I think, historically in horror movies, maybe when you see a woman and an animal, you assume that it's going to be funnier or sillier or something about that. And I loved that about that, because I had that assumption when I read it. I was like, I'm going to be the girl that trips and the alligator's going to eat me. And I love that this wasn't that. It's really kind of challenging that stereotype that I'm now realising is really a thing.
Is it hard to make a kind of old-fashioned monster movie like this and make it scary and not make it a bit tongue-in-cheek?
The tone is always the hard one to navigate because, of course, some people are expecting another Piranha, but Piranha was, from the get-go, an extravaganza of blood and other things,
Boobs.
Yes.
It's all right, there's a place. Boobs are great.
Yeah.
Always a place, yeah. Do you guys now know the difference? Could you name the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
No, I still get it wrong. I do. It's terrible. I still say it. That
It's
this
mostly
is an
just
alligator
the shape of the snout.
Yeah, it's kind of the shape of the mouth, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the snout that's round. It's a U shape for the alligator, and it's a V shape for the crocodile.
They're arseholes, aren't they? I mean, it's not just that they eat you, but they kind of drown you, roll you over.
Like a shark has a clean cut. Like it goes to your leg and it cut it clean. It's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's just like clean. The alligator just grab you and then turns his body and dismember. It's like a chicken leg that you break and it's ripping it apart, and then it keep you stuck under some kind of tree. For you to get more flavor with the rotting days.
Lovely.
Yeah.
It's really lovely.